And to our next conversation, we see aviation fuel, also known as dual-purpose kerosene for airplanes and helicopters, is currently imported into Nigeria, with the Dangote refinery now set to produce aviation fuel locally. There are potential implications for the pricing and availability of the crucial resource. Let's talk to Tava Kumeka now. He's a research manager at financial derivatives company. Great to have you on the show. So what impact do you foresee on the pricing of aviation fuel in Nigeria, considering the shift from imports to local production?
Good afternoon, Ladi. Thank you very much for having me. Yeah, what you read is correct. Dangote, with the completion of the refinery, we are going to see high production of aviation fuel and other petroleum products in the country. What is the implication of this development? There is going to be increase in availability of aviation fuel and other petroleum products, and there will be increase in market competition. This is going to reduce risk of shortages and increasing the price of petroleum products in the economy, in Nigeria and the sub-Saharan Africa. There's going to be increase in cost of production. Unlike importing crude fuel, refined products from other countries, which has cost implication in terms of shipping, import duties, and exchange rate expenses. With the completion of Dangote refinery, which is a good news to Nigeria and other neighboring countries, we are going to be seeing reduction in the price of oil because competition will increase. So major suppliers of petroleum products in the market will need to adjust their prices in order to have more buyers. So the price, due to this competition, the price of petroleum products, including aviation fuel, is likely going to come down in the short term.
Right, and we know a major cost component there for aviation is jet fuel. That consists of about 40% of direct operating costs. So do you think domestic production of aviation fuel could reduce the cost of airfares, in Nigeria? Is there a possibility of that?
Well, you're correct, but this is not strictly one-on-one. Of course, with the increase in aviation fuel by Dangote refinery and reduction in the cost, we're going to see a reduction in airfare. There will be lower costs because aviation fuel, as you read, has a higher percentage in the cost of operating airplanes in the world. So lower airfares will lead to more affordability for travel and increase the number of passengers. Increase the number of passengers will lead to increase in profitability to these air operating firms, and this increase in their numbers will increase their profitability. The increase in profitability will lead to expansion in other routes, which will lead to further growth in the industry. The growth in the industry will have a positive impact on the overall economy of Nigeria. So we're going to see increase in the number of passengers and increase in the revenue of these operators in the aviation sector, which will lead to overall growth in the sector and more to the overall economy of Nigeria. The overall domestic production of aviation is likely to reduce this effect, boost airline profitability, and help mitigate other cost implications that these operators in the aviation sector face.
So see the Dangote refinery that with a capacity of about 650,000 barrels per day. They've recently started exporting jet fuel while still seeking crude supplies from international oil companies. And we've seen the management of Dangote refinery saying that the IOCs operating in Nigeria prefer to export their crude rather than sell it domestically to the refinery. So what are the implications of this for getting affordable aviation fuel?
Yes, like this is really sad. According to my boss, it's like in a football match scoring an own goal and equalizing and jubilating. So what you just read is we just scored an own goal against ourselves. With the presence of Dangote refinery, we shouldn't be having issues of importing fuel again. So I don't want to comment much about the business specific aspect of it, but what we're going to see is that there are going to be supply chain instability which will disrupt the operational activities of Dangote refinery. This will lead to cost implication. Cost implication in the sense that Dangote will have to rely on importing crude from more unfavorable sources like US and other places. This will have serious implication on the economy. So my interest is what is the implication of this not gaining on having Dangote refinery and IOCs refusing to supply or sabotaging his refining abilities. We are going to have implications. This will reduce job creation because the refining of crude will create jobs for the teeming youth in this country. So Dangote not being able to source for crude oil from domestic IOCs will affect job creation, affect local content in the oil sector, and we have a devastating effect on the overall economy.
All right, we'll keep tracking that. Thank you so much. It was great having you, Dr. Teva Komeka, Research Manager at a Financial Derivatives Company. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, now let's head to other markets now. Let's take a look at what's happening with Bitcoin. We've seen that massive drop from the $70,000 level